पिता गुरु बंधु सखा.
Only the Supreme can see the Supreme. If you see some light and you think, oh my God, there is God, it is not complete. Because who are you who has the capability to see God? If you see God in some form and it is true, then it means that also the one who sees is the same thing. But if you think you're seeing God and you are a person seeing God, then the God you see is not real. It's also phenomenal. If you're a phenomenon, what you see is phenomenal. Because people hear I say this thing every time. It is the most practical thing, but you don't take it in for some reason. You listen to it like it's a teaching. And I'm not teaching you anything at all. It's like you ask me, where's the milk? I say, it's inside this fridge. You go and take it, that's all. I'm not teaching you how to make milk and how to milk a cow. You ask, I tell you where it is. Then go take it if you want it. I don't even tell you to go, because it's nowhere different from you. So something must be happening in the mind where you take the words I'm telling you as a teaching, and then you say, yes, I'll have to go and think about it, and you miss your chance. I don't put the truth 1 micromillimeter away from my own self. But you do. That is the difference. You still persist in believing that it is something that you can reach, and if you do something more, you meditate more, you'll get to it. These are all illusions, honey. And maybe we are fascinated by this thought because in some kind of way, the ego has got an investment in this type of belief. Because you can believe this, and your ego will survive. Because you are supporting a delusion. You are supporting a duality also. If I only do this, then I'll get nearer to it. All this is delusion.
When you were saying something still wants to learn or so, I don't feel it like that. I feel that I am very much there with you and seeing. I can also perceive in this seeing, this place, big place, I can also see the little, let's say, which is kind of a force that I don't know what it is, but it's not so good. It's not light. It puts me down. It's like it sleep state.
But you must think, really, you say it puts me down. I'll ask you to revise what you say, because she is one whose words are most trustworthy now. Because when you first came, very, very troubled mind. But now, your words, her words now, have changed. Her words, since I know her, her words have changed. Before, they were words. Now, they are the energy of truth. It's a big difference. Before, when she speaks, her words were words. Most people, when they speak, their words are words, concepts. When she speaks now, she speaks more from experience. You see? So the words have a different vibration about them. They have a power and they have authority. And they don't create any agitation inside. But when you speak this little bit, you say, yeah, I see also some energy there, and they pull me down. I stop her and I say, no, revise what you say. Because it is you who determine whether something is true or not now. She has the power to determine whether something is true or not now. So if you say that something has the power to pull me down, I say, please revise, reflect, and say, if it is true, can something pull you down?
I see it's not truth. I see this is not true.
It is not true. And why I challenge this thing, because if you let that slip by, then it's a little victory for your mind again. But if you catch him and you say, no, actually I spoke this, but when now I revise it, I see it is not true, then you cut him. This is what's happening. This is why earth seeing is one of the most authentic. Earth seeing is one of the most authentic. Why? Because something has persisted, not merely in intellectual conviction. Thank you. Not merely to intellectual conviction, but through experiential conviction. To look and to see and to watch the forces, how they move, and then to look and to say, yeah, okay, but I can see this. That's only what I ask you to do. I don't ask anybody to make anything up. You look, you observe, you confirm, and say who you are, who is doing this. That is all. If you follow my pointing, you will reach your goal, so to speak, in the shortest time. The only thing that gets in the way of the realization of the self is fear. Something is afraid to go beyond the person. The person is somehow playing as a kind of fact. And fear comes that if the person dissolves, is going to create a lot of pain. Amma, please come. Amma, come. You get her a chair. She can sit. No, she can sit down here. She can sit here. No, she can sit there. You can sit here. Very good. Again, the pointing, I say pointing and not teaching. Because teaching requires student. And student, the very nature and the role of a student is to learn something. While you embrace this thing as a student, initially we have to play these roles. It has to be like that. You must play through convention at the beginning. Follow convention for the beginning. And gradually, as you stabilize in real understanding, then the roles you're playing will fall away by themselves. There's no need to insist on labeling yourself as anything. In the beginning, we cannot help it. In the beginning, like this, it is okay. It's light. You have not plunged deeply enough yet for it to matter. But gradually, as the mind and the being is immersed in the energy field of Satsang, then the grosser forms of ego is dissolving away, and some kind of spiritual refinement is happening. And gradually, with this refinement, like this, one is able more to grasp subtler truths, like that. And it's all happening automatically. Everything is happening automatically. If there is earnestness, meaning that if there is genuinely an urge for freedom, if there's genuinely an urge to know God, then you don't have to go around trying to figure out little problems here and there. You will focus on the main thing. When you get the main thing, everything else will be satisfied. You cannot water a tree by watering the leaves. You have to go to the root. You must go to the root with everything. Go to the root. If you strongly feel, yes, I wish to wake up to what is true, then if your urge is genuine, it will take you to a pure-hearted soul or someone who can guide you at least to the next few stages. If you are fortunate enough to meet a jnani or something, then they can take you all the way and in the shortest time. It really is not difficult to awaken to the truth. It is not difficult at all. What seems to be difficult is somehow the willingness to go beyond our attachments. The willingness to tackle the fears that come up that makes us feel that to go further, then you are going to perish, and all of these things, which are mind-created delusions. And most of us would know by now that these are not truths. They are just the mind's bluffs. The mind is bluffing and telling you things to put you off. And who are you? Consciousness itself. Consciousness that is temporarily in a state of hypnosis in believing it is merely a person. Restricted consciousness. When the urge arises inside the consciousness as a person, when it suffers the person, then it produces the aspiration to go beyond personhood. Where's the book that I gave you? You wrote it again. Again, I remind you what we said this morning. I said this just we were talking at the house. I tell you again, because we were talking and these things come up. When you lose the eyes of the ego, you see with the eyes of God. While identity persists in us, we see and experience the world shaped by our projections alone. When ego falls away, only then we see the world as it truly is, the miracle of God, the miracle of existence. Meaning that everything is fine, everything is in its perfect place, even right now. But you will not you will not know it or experience it or appreciate it while we are persisting in the deluded state of being a person. You will not experience it as it is. You will experience it through your projections, through your identity. Only when the ego state is transcended through perfect understanding, then it will confirm, you will see. Because people say, wow, suddenly everything is beautiful, suddenly people are so wonderful, suddenly, I find that all worries have gone, I'm waking up feeling very healthy, my interactions with my family has changed, all these things. Suddenly. I said, it was always like this. But you always missed it. because you were following your projections born of delusions. So you never saw it. Most people, they feel that somehow when they're in a state of grace, they're experiencing a new world. No, it is the same world, being perceived freshly and truthfully, like that. So it's like that. We are deeply attached to our identity, deeply attached to our identity as person. This is the spell of consciousness, that when it lives in its self-portrait as a person, it becomes attached to its self-image and believe the self-image is the fact of its being. It has an urge to go beyond. It has a natural intuition that the person is not enough, but it has fear because it does not know what lies beyond the person. But that is only in the state of delusion, because you are not able to evaluate any state until you're coming out of it. Only when you're coming out of one state into another, you can look and say, so I didn't realize I was so tense, my gosh. But when you're in it and believing it, it seems to fill your consciousness and it feels like a fact. There's one earth, but there are billions of worlds. Inside each body, a unique composition movie of the world is being played. And the viewer of this world, the experiencer of this world, is consciousness in the form of the person. Billions of movies, billions of interpretations. And in each body, that private projection forms an attachment. That this is my world, I don't want to give it up. And yet, by nature, it is compelled to keep changing the movie. Every day is unique, unrepeatable. And yet in the mind it registers like this is a truthful world. So the beingness itself gets identified with person and is afraid. It's afraid, oh, I'm afraid like the person is going to evaporate, whereas the person is not real. It's made up every moment. Underneath the person is the consciousness. That unmixed consciousness which is experienced through the vibration of presence or the sense I am. When you know that I am feeling and it's not combined or linked to any other psychological states or to identity, your experiences will be true. You can say true. In fact, no experience is really true, but they'll be more truthful. They'll be more kind, more loving, more godlike. But nothing that is born from time can be said to be real. Unendingly transformative, everything is always changing, and rightly so that it's changing. So the opportunity for the human existence is to find that which is unchanging. When the human being finds that which is unchanging, they can alone, only then you can enjoy what is changing. You will not be threatened by what is changing, because you would have discovered your timeless, your imperishable self. Satsang is facilitating all of that seeing. It should not take so long, in fact. But what you have against you, you may say like this in the play. is persistent identity. The reflex for the consciousness to go back into its psychological identity. And the attachment to that identity and the fear that grows, the insecurities that grow out of that state. And life has to provide intense and painful experiences, because through intense or painful experiences, or boring, you can say also, or sicknesses, whatever crisis experience life provides is only to assist the being to produce sufficient aspiration to grow to the next stage, if you want to say like that. A jnani has transcended all states. It is easier to transcend all states than to transcend some. If you only want to transcend this one and that one, it will be impossible. But if you want to transcend all states, it will be very easy. Because to want to transcend some means that you retain some identity. And if you hold on to any identity, it will grow seeds of delusions and destruction for you. And it will inhibit the evolution of consciousness, you can say like that. I'm going to go soon, so anybody wants to say anything more?
I want to say thank you. There's so much gratitude for everything, for having met you in this life, for what you have shown me, for what's here, and the clarity, and the strength, and the love. I'm very grateful, Guruji.
It is good. Anyone who rediscovers the self, your heart will be full of gratitude. Gratitude is your truest response, because you have earned your salvation to be free from the tyranny of the delusion, to come back to a state of emptiness. Not the emptiness that the mind is afraid of, the true emptiness, where there's no one planning any existence, there's no one being peaceful, there's no one being aware, there's only the awareness, and you are that awareness, and it is so vividly clear for you that all the schemes of the mind and all of that, they cannot touch you. It's like a dog barking at a flying bird. The mind's a big arr, 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 arr. And the bird of freedom is untouched. Even that has too much in it. Even that has too much in it. The seeds of grace are already planted inside you. The posture of your heart and your attention should be always just to say yes. Rid me of ego and merge me with you. That's your little work. And keep quiet and trust and see. You don't have to be working at yourself, chiseling away at anything at all. But what has been pointed out to you, you must try to confirm over and over again, because it is simple. Truth does not ask you to create. You cannot create or improve upon what is already perfect. You can only discover it. But if you yourself identify as the imperfect one, mind will itself take the form of an imposter, and he will present to you many, many tricks and trails and techniques and maps and procedures to perform to reach that which you can never be separate from, but only imagine that you have come apart from it. There are thousands of beings who are aching to hear what you're hearing now so easily. They don't want to hear it only from a book. They want to hear it from the living presence. Living presence doesn't mean because I am in the body or something like that. Because I told you before, some people, they say like that yes, you have to listen and you have to be with a living master and this type of thing. A true master, actually, as I said, is the only one alive. Look at, if you want to have an example of this. Jesus Christ left the body 2,200 years ago. And still now people are having living and dynamic relationships with him. Sai Baba of Shirdi left the body many years ago. He has disciples now also, new disciples now. The Buddha, 2,500 years ago. New Buddhists are being formed. With whom are they having their relationship? Is it only with some practice? It has to be more than a practice. A practice cannot touch your heart. Only with the living spirit. If you love Krishna, you have to love him beyond merely his historical form. You can have a living relationship with the living spirit of Krishna. Because they are pointing to the deathless inside you. When you find the deathless inside you, you will know the deathless that they are. It says, even to believe in the deathlessness of a jnani makes you deathless, because you inherit that grace. You should not think of anything that is dead or perishable except delusion. Why should you not be the next jnani? Why not? Even drop next. Why are you not now? Why next? Is it merely belief? Is it determination? No, it is not. Grace and understanding will confirm for you your true position. But there must arise in you the earnestness for that. Where does that come from? Because even earnestness you cannot produce. Only that grace is also acting as that. But one thing you can draw some inspiration from is that it brought you here. And it will never abandon you. Only you turn away from it. Such is the play. Do you think God can be apart from what is here? You want to meet God? You can meet God right now. You can meet God. Even, I will tell you, forget about meeting, because meeting has a future about it. Meeting means two. So drop the notion of two, drop the notion of meeting, drop the notion of I also. Who will do it? Who will do it now? Who will do it? Who knows God now? Who? Who told you you must wait? Who told you next? Who told you other? Because if God is infinite, God must be here now also, isn't it? How can God escape from here? And who is more real, you or he? And who tell you that there is a difference also? Language created a lot of separation, but you are here before language. You are here before language. You are here before knowledge, because it is you who know knowledge and you who know ignorance also. Who are you? You are here before the concept of separation or even of union. Everybody is pretending. Everybody is pretending. Everybody pretend. But you forget you pretend. So, are you empty or full? Are you somebody or nobody? Rosie said, "Thank you for allowing me to be nobody."
And only nobody is free. Only
Yes.
nobody is free.
Outwardly, of course, people, you appear you appear to be this or that. That is okay, outwardly. But inwardly, are you somebody? You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to share that with anyone. Keep that as your secret.
Guruji, that reality that was seen in you so clearly, now it's like, it's seen here as well. There's no difference. And still I'm aware of that. Like that is, I perceive that as well.
When you see the one who perceives this as no form, therefore has no growth, has no beginning, has no end, that this one is genuinely not doing anything. And yet unceasing activity continues to spin out of this vastness. These are thankfully not easy things that you don't have to explain them. You don't have to say anything about it. Just you know and you confirm. And then say what comes spontaneously as you move in life. Go as you please. Without pride. It is as though you are being scooped out from the inside and replaced with emptiness. Some divine taxidermy has happened to you. And you have to get used to a little bit to this feeling of emptiness. In the beginning, you're not accustomed to it, and people feel uncomfortable, sometimes lost, ungrounded. The mind wants to understand. It wants to put things into categories and but just keep looking to yourself and finding again that great space. For those who have this urge inside them to fully awaken to what I'm pointing to, I gave you some clues, some tips. Give up the concept that you have any rights in life. Or don't even touch the idea of a future. Because all these things make you weak. when you don't have rights, you see everything as a gift. When you drop the notion of future, you're again in real time with the universe again. Give up the need to belong. And to be accepted. And you'll be a friend to the whole world. Give up self-definition, and you'll fit in everywhere. Give up the idea that you can know someone. You cannot know anybody. Give up the idea that you can know anything. And you will find the universal consciousness. Give up the idea that you're your body. And you'll be the imperishable self. But don't tell anybody about it. The mind cannot bear these type of words. But then it doesn't really exist. Fall in love with emptiness. Fall in love with love. But don't be a love story. Then you will experience your existence, will feel like you are like space, moving about in space. Tremendous love will be with you. And unshakable peace. Unfading happiness. You'll be comfortable knowing that nobody can understand you. Nobody ever has. Nor have you understood anybody. And yet, in a strange way, you know every living being. You know every living being. When you look at their eyes, you know who is looking through them. Is you. So like this fear will go. The seed of illumination is inside the heart of every living being, in every person. The power to awaken to the self is in everybody. But you must transcend or go beyond the belief in your own materiality. You must find the non-dual self as your own reality. Don't worry about finding it in others. Find it in yourself. And it will take care of everything else you need to know. In one way, the paradox is like everything in the world, truthfully, is helping you to realize yourself. And the paradox is that it seems a lot of forces are here to sabotage you finding the self. Both are true. Everything is here to assist you in discovering your eternal nature. And yet, many things seem to play at encouraging you to forget who you are. And to waste your energy on perishable things. Because, as I said before, time says, everything that you see, everything you imagine belongs to me. From the birth of my concept as time, I have eaten all this world. Only one thing time cannot eat, and that is pure awareness. While your body is warm, find that awareness. Okay. So, good enough for now, no? Yes. You should show all the people in this room, because all of you have to wake up. We will look back on this film. We will look back at this film. We will look back at this film at some point. I don't know when it will be. And I will look back and say, awake, 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 awake. I have to say this to you.
A master like you, we have to. Yes.
I'm not leaving you with any choice about it. Very good, very good.
We must be your best food, you know. We must be your best food. And
You must be my best food. You must become prasad. Because I said before, no, because we were not long ago, some few people were at the house, and Chaitanya said, I felt some pain inside because I see how close Lakshmi and Krishnabai and Janaki, they are with you, and I wish I would be close like this. And I said to him, you know something? From my side, there's absolutely no reason, nothing stopping you from being close with me. In fact, why even speak about close? Why not one? Why speak about close? Because close is two. Why not one? So there's no reason, nothing from my side cause you to be separate from what I am, except your own mind. Your own mind cheats you out of it. Because something wants to preserve your autonomy as ego. And it is cheating you out of your own eternity. So your responsibility is to treat your life as though you have no time. You don't have time to wake up. You don't have time for that luxury. Find that in yourself which is already awake. Because mind will try and sell you time. He will tell you need more time. You need more practice. You need another retreat. You need the next book, the next YouTube. You need the next life also. And you will buy it because you bought it before. Nothing from the heavens have ever told you you are separate. This came from the earth. This came from the earth mind. It came from consciousness because it has to play this role of duality. It has to play the role of delusion. It has to play awakening from this delusion. It has to play recovering from delusion. In the morning, we are leaving this town now. But the words I'm sharing with you, may they never leave you. So again, may all whose heart beats for the truth, may all whose deep yearning is for liberation, is for harmony with the Supreme Being, may your deepest wish, your prayer, come true, be fulfilled. May you swiftly come to the realization of the self, beyond doubt. May you expand in wisdom and loving kindness, compassion. And may all who meet you on the way be moved, be touched, be inspired by your light and peace, by your openness, kindness, by your silence and wisdom, so that they in turn may find that same truth in themselves and be happy. So be it. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
पिता गुरु बंधु सखा गुरु मात पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम। तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम। प्रियतम तुम्ही प्राणनाथ तुम्ही प्रियतम तुम्ही हृदयनाथ तुम्ही तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम। तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम। गुरु मात पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम। तुम्ही भक्ति हो तुम्ही शक्ति हो तुम्ही मुक्ति हो मेरे सोंब शिवा। तुम्ही मुक्ति हो मेरे सोंब शिवा। गुरु मात पिता गुरु सखा, तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे।
So I keep you in my heart, and I come with you also.
प्रेरणा तुम्ही साधना, तुम्ही प्रेरणा तुम्ही साधना, तुम्ही आराधना मेरे सो